Good day, folks, and welcome back to Unpopular Aussie Opinions, where we dive headfirst into the conversations that most punters steer clear of in the Australian sports world. I'm your host, and today we are tackling something that's been bubbling under the surface in the AFL for months now, the Logan Morris contract saga at the Brisbane Lions. You know the headlines. The young gun forward, fresh off a premiership medal in his debut season, had clubs like Melbourne and Collingwood throwing the kitchen sink at him with big money offers. Whispers of a return home to Victoria, dreams of starring at the MCG, the whole 9 yards. But in the end, Morris put pen to paper on a 2-year extension with the Lions back in May, locking in until the end of 2027. And just this week, Brisbane coach Chris Fagan has finally spilled the beans on the real reason behind it all. Not the glossy PR spin, not the loyalty talk, the unvarnished truth that's got me shaking my head and wondering if the rest of the league is blind to what's really going on. Now, before we unpack Fagan's bombshell, let's rewind a bit for those who might have missed the drama. Logan Morris isn't your average rookie story. Hailing from Bacchus Marsh in Victoria, this kid was drafted at pick 44 in 2023, a bit of a bolter after flying under the radar in the NAB League. But boy, did he hit the ground running in 2024. Bursting onto the scene as a key forward, he slotted 28 goals in his first full season, including some absolute screamers in the finals that helped haul the Lions over the line for that drought-breaking flag. We are talking contested marks that defied physics, leads that left defenders in his dust, and a cool head under pressure that belied his 19 years. Suddenly, he's not just a prospect, he's a cornerstone, the heir apparent to blokes like Joe Daniher and Charlie Cameron up forward. Enter the contract saga. As soon as the confetti settled at the Gabba, the vultures circled. Melbourne, desperate to patch up their forward line after the Ben Brown experiment went pear-shaped, reportedly tabled an offer north of $800,000 a season. That's life-changing coin for a lad straight out of juniors. Collingwood, never ones to shy away from a splash, were in the mix too, dangling the lure of Magpies tradition and a straight swap into their premiership window. And let's not forget the homesick factor. Morris could have been back kicking bags at the MCG, rubbing shoulders with the Clarys and the Max Goffs, living the Victorian dream. The media ate it up. Will the kid bolt? Is Brisbane about to lose their next big thing? Pundits on Sen and Fox Footy were queuing up to declare it a done deal, with Kane Corns even piping up about how the Lions' small market vibe couldn't compete with the big smoke. But no, Morris stayed put. And here's where Fagan's explanation comes in, straight from the horse's mouth in a sit-down with the Lions media team that's been doing the rounds this week. Forget the bollocks about family or the culture. Fagan laid it out plain as day. The real reason Morris recommitted wasn't loyalty or even the footy itself. It was fear. Plain, unadulterated fear of what happens when you chase the dollar and the glamour over the grind. Fagan didn't mince words. He said the kid looked him in the eye during those tense negotiations and admitted he'd seen too many mates from his junior days flame out after jumping ship too early. Logan's not naive, Fagan recounted. He knows the stories, the high-profile moves that end in tears, the blokes who get lured away with promises of stardom only to rot on the bench or get chewed up by the pressure cooker. Think about that for a second. In a league where we are constantly sold the dream of free agency as this great equaliser, Fagan's flipping the script. He's saying the saga wasn't about Brisbane outbidding the D's or the Pies. It was about convincing a 20-year-old that staying put in the pressure cooker of a rebuilding premiership side is the smarter play than rolling the dice on a fresh start. And here's my unpopular take number 1. Fagan's spot on, and the rest of the AFL is too bloody scared to admit it. We glorify these blockbuster trades, the Dusty Martin sagas, the Tom Lynch epics. But how often do they actually pan out? Look at the stats. According to a deep dive by The Age last year, only 62% of top 10 draftees who move clubs within their first contract extension maintain or improve their output. The rest. They stagnate, get homesick, or worse, turn into cautionary tales like the Josh Kelly near miss at GWS. Fagan went deeper in that interview, painting a picture of those late-night chats in the Lions' den. He described Morris poring over footage of past recruits who'd chased the bright lights, blokes like Jesse Hogan, who bounced from Melbourne to Freo and back again, never quite hitting the heights. Or more recently, the Tom Papley situation at the Swans, where the shine wore off faster than a new pair of boots. Logan asked me point-blank, Fagan revealed, "Coach, what if I go and it's all hype? What if I become just another name on the list?" And Fagan's response? Brutal honesty. "Mate, you'd be a star anywhere, but here you've got a role carved out. Up forward with Hipwood and Daniher. You're not fighting for scraps, you're the focal point. Leave now, and you're starting from zero in someone else's system. That's the nugget, isn't it? In Brisbane, Morris isn't just another tall forward. He's the next in the lineage, groomed under Fagan's meticulous eye. The Lions' game plan thrives on that inside 50 efficiency, quick hands, clever leads, and a bit of X-factor mongrel. Melbourne's setup? It's all chaos and contested footy, with Christian Petrarca demanding the ball more than a kid at a lolly shop. Collingwood under Craig McRae. Relentless, sure, but their forward line's a revolving door of injuries and egos. Morris would have walked into a minefield, and Fagan made damn sure he saw it. We didn't sell him the flag, Fagan emphasised. We sold him security. A path. And in this game, that's rarer than a fair umpiring decision on a Friday night. Now, let's chew the fat on why this matters beyond one kid's decision. This saga exposes the underbelly of the AFL's free agency obsession. We're told it's player empowerment, the great democratizer. But Fagan's calling it what it is, a trap for the young and ambitious. And my second unpopular opinion? Brisbane's ahead of the curve because they've built a system that breeds loyalty through results, not rhetoric. Look at their list, blokes like Lorchie Neal, who crossed from Freo and became a Brownlow favourite. Dane Zorko, the eternal warrior who's turned down interstate whispers year after year. It's not coincidence. It's culture, forged in the fires of that 2001 to 2004 three-peat and reignited now under Fagan. Morris saw it, felt it, and chose it over the Victoria pool. Good on him, I say. The Ds can keep their MCG fairy tale. I'd rather a Gabba grind that ends in silverware. But hold the phone. Is Fagan's fear narrative just a clever PR job? Some cynics on the Twitter sphere are saying yeah, the Lions lowballed him and guilt-tripped the kid into staying. After all, that 2-year deal's reportedly around the 600 grand mark per season. Solid, but not the jackpot Melbourne allegedly offered. Fair point, but Fagan shot it down hard. Money's part of it, sure, but Logan's not chasing Ferraris at 20. He wants games, goals, and a shot at back-to-back flags. We gave him that guarantee. And the proof's in the pudding. Since re-signing, Morris has been untouchable in the pre-season hub, booting hauls in intra-club matches and looking every bit the 30-goal man for 2026. Diving deeper, Fagan touched on the psychological side, which I reckon is gold for any young gun watching this. He talked about the saga fatigue, how the constant speculation wears you down, turns mates into rumour mills, and family barbecues into inquisition sessions. Logan's phone was blowing up, Fagan chuckled. Agents, journos, even old coaches from Bacchus Marsh weighing in. We had to strip it back. What's best for you, not the headlines. It's a masterclass in mentorship, the kind that's sorely missing in a league obsessed with TikTok highlights over long-term growth. Compare it to the Gold Coast Suns' revolving door. Kids drafted with promise, dangled trade bait after 2 seasons. No wonder their retention rate's in the toilet. And here's where I get properly controversial. I reckon the AFL needs more Fagans calling out the hype machine. The salary cap's a joke these days, with loopholes letting the big clubs poach talent like it's a supermarket sweep. Morris could have been the next victim, shipped off to plug holes in a Victorian powerhouse while Brisbane licked their wounds. But Fagan's stance, fear the unknown, embrace the known, it's a wake-up call. It's why the Lions are my dark horse for another flag push in 2026. With Morris locked in, alongside the returning Oscar McInerney and a midfield that's only getting meaner, they're built to go again. Melbourne. Still scrambling for a reliable tall. Collingwood. Praying Mihocek stays upright. Let's not forget the human element, either. Fagan got misty-eyed recounting Morris's family visit to the club during talks. Mum and Dad, straight off the plane from Victoria, grilling the coach on everything from nutrition plans to exit clauses. They weren't sold on the footy, Fagan admitted. They wanted to know we'd look after their boy, body, and soul. In an era of burnout and mental health horror stories, that's the real win. Morris isn't just extending a contract, he's investing in a family away from home, a brotherhood that's delivered hardware where others only promise it. Wrapping this up, or at least trying to, because there's layers to peel here, Fagan's revelation reframes the whole saga. It's not a fairy tale of unswerving loyalty. It's a calculated choice against the odds. And for us punters, it's a reminder that the best opinions are the unpopular ones. Sometimes staying put is the bold move, not chasing the spotlight. Logan Morris gets that, Chris Fagan gets that, and if the Lions march on, the league will have to get it too. What do you reckon, viewers? Was fear the right call, or did Morris dodge a bullet by not testing the waters? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Keep it civil, but keep it real. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe for more unpopular Aussie opinions, and I'll catch you next time for whatever madness the footy world's cooking up. Stay opinionated. Stay true blue. Cheers.